Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're working on one of my two Jim Dandy Winterberries. This one was the weaker of the two. I got them bare rooted out of a warehouse. They were like basically giving up on these trees. They weren't sold the past year or so. And so it was like, all right, well, I'll take them and I'll try them. And one of them bloomed perfectly and it kicked off berries this year, and it's overwintering outside in the snow enjoying life, and the other was in the basement. It never buried, and its leaves were, sporadic this year. So it's a bit of a gamble, but I'm excited to prune it up because it has a very great start. So that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, y'all. So here we are with my Jim Dandy Winterberry. This is like the runt of the two. I have one that I winterized outside that has beautiful berries all over it, and I'm going to do that in the conclusion. But basically what I got at the nursery was some sticks coming out of soil. There was no foliage, and just like this huge root mass, like huge knotted root mass. Like if you have a daughter and they just got this crazy wild hair and you're trying to like comb it out, you don't know what the hell you're doing. That was this root mass. So Jim Dandy Winterberry, they kick off nice leaves, a couple of times a year, and then in the winter it's just nothing but the trunks, the branches, and these beautiful little red berries that I believe are poisonous, but I haven't looked it up because I have no interest in eating them. So what you're seeing up front right now, these, I believe those are little volunteers that came from the root mass because they have nothing to do with what I intend to do with this planting. You see it's in a nice deep pot. And I'm pretty sure that these grew off of the roots. So I just want one nice trunk. What made me think of what I'm going to do with this is when I saw the bonsai bloke do his red gum trees, because it looked like it was almost like multiple trees coming out of the soil, but it was really just a really low trunk. And that's what this made me think of. So why don't I get these little jerks out of here for disturbing my planting. I didn't touch this thing last year because, when something's coming out of bare root that's been in a warehouse, the less you can disturb it, the more chance you're going to have of actually letting it survive. So I put it in a nice deep pot, boom, with a lot of good soil, perlite, and some peat moss, some regular like moisture control topsoil. Let those fine roots develop. And here I am, pruning it for its first time. This one was in the basement and my other one is outside. So this one did not produce berries. It was kind of like the weakling. So I was like, I'm going to treat it like Ilex verticulata winter red. So I decided I was going to treat it like, a normal, sensitive, deciduous tree. But truly, these are very cold hardy because when I'm going on my runs and walks around the neighborhood, you see these all over the place in the wild. So I like this one, this little guy coming off the side. This is the main trunk, love that one. So I had to decide between these two. And really, this one closest to the main trunk, it really has the most ramification and the most interest to it. So, unfortunately, number 4 has to go. So we'll just prune that big trunk off, making sure I don't disturb the other one. So my wife and I are getting ready to sell one of our cars. It takes a lot of effort, especially in the winter. You got to clean it off, make it look pretty and all that. So I'm getting to this a little later than I would normally do it, but I just had committed to doing this thing today, and I'm going to do it. Ooh, yeah. So the reason why it's off center in the pot, it's not because I was like trying to do some dramatic off center potting. I know this is a pre-bonsai pot. It's huge, and the roots were huge, but because I didn't think it was going to live, I didn't want to prune any of the roots, and they were all off to one side. So the only way I could fit it into this pot was by doing it like this. So what do we think about that? It's all kind of coming at you. And that's going away from you. So we're going to call this one like bonsai in progress, because I might end up coming away and just keeping this main trunk with these two little branches. But I like the thought of a spread base here and having multiple trunks. I don't have anything like that. So like I said, Bonsai Bloke, he did his red gum like this, and it's really cool. So if you want to check him out, if you haven't already, you'll be happy you did. He actually has a video out that I haven't seen yet that I'm going to watch later today, hopefully. So my goal this year with this one is to get it to survive A, and B, get some nice foliage with some ramification, and get the berries to develop. Not the bellies. We don't want the belly developing. Well, I don't want the belly developing, but if you've been watching this channel, you know my bride, Laura, is pregnant. She's about halfway there. Stella Lucia's in there, so I call it the Stelly Belly. It's pretty exciting. Wow, this thing is really going off to one side. It could be cool, but for now, it's definitely like a nursery rescue that is in need of rescue. So why don't we say, since I didn't really spend any money on it, we'll take some gambles, since we already have another one. Where this one splits, taking it down. Boom, boom. Oh man, so tomorrow I have this chili bonsai grow kit that I did a little over a year ago. And I only got one of the species to survive, but I believe they said it was about 40 times spicier than a jalapeno. And I love spicy, but 40 times is a lot of times. Think about that. Like, you're going 60 miles an hour down the road, and then you go 40 times that. So you're going 2,400 miles an hour down the road. It's a lot. So anyways, I'm thinking about cutting it with like some eggs, or maybe I'll just shoot it. I don't care, but I'm gonna prune up some chili pepper bonsais that I grew from seed. I haven't touched them in over a year. They're in, well, I repotted them. They're in great soil. They're in pumice and perlite. But I'm definitely gonna eat that chili. It's gonna be crazy. All right, I want a certain height with these, so I'm just gonna do it. It's been fun using these. I didn't get to use these for the longest because I grew everything from seed, and everything is so narrow and tiny it doesn't necessarily need these. But this is one of my few I did not grow from seed. And also, if you don't grow from seed, you don't really, have that much into it as far as love and heart. So you're willing to make the hard cuts to create something amazing. Oh yeah, digging that. Take that bad boy out. That one's growing straight up. Don't like that. So boom. Boom, boom. Why don't I bring you in a little closer to look at it, and then I'm going to show you the chili that's due in for tomorrow. All right, so you see this nice deep pot. This is a mock terracotta pot. I remember getting it off the side of the road. I saw them laying out some things they wanted to throw away, and so I hopped out, ran, grabbed it. So look at that trunk. You see why I want to keep all three? It almost looks like a dude like going down in quicksand, reaching for help. And then if I don't end up liking these two, worst case, they develop the trunk down low, and then I have a nice split trunk going up. So totally dope. I like that. All right, so right over here, I've got 1, 2, 3 Twilight New Mex Twilight chilies. And I got tons of flowers, but I only got one chili. Boom. So they were called Twilight because they go through like a range of different colors. So this thing started white, and then it went like light yellow, orange, and now it's bright red. And I'm eager to eat it. So that's what's going to happen on tomorrow's episode. All right, let's go outside, and I will show you the one that I have, the Jim Dandy Winterberry that is winterizing outside. All right, y'all, so just stepped out into the snow. You could barely see it because, as you can see, we have a ton of snow. But this is that same type of tree, and those are the little berries that grew up on it. So this one was strong enough to survive outside this year, so I decided to leave this one, and probably early spring I'll be pruning that bad boy up. But anyways, as you can see, it's a winter wonderland over here. Life at the ranch in winter. For my broskies in Europe, you don't know what you're missing. Oh, you're not missing anything because snow is terrible. Look at how much I have to deal with every day. It's basically snowed every day in February. But anyways, that's going to do it for another episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Jim Dandy Winterberry. I've been waiting to prune that bad boy. I really hope that one comes back. If it doesn't, I'll understand that, you know, it was a long shot, but definitely his brother with the berries is going to. So check back for that one. So that's going to do it for this episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Take care. Cheers.